Period is the end of a sentence, not the end of a girl-child education. My name is OSD Maverick. And I want to talk about a topic that is a very sensitive one. In our society, science and religion are quite opposite. Anything that has to do with religion is seen as sacred. Anything scientific is seen as a rocket science, something completely out of this world. I want to talk about menstruation. Menstruation is a biological process, something that has to do with the cleansing of the reproductive system of a female, a girl child. And most people dread that topic. They don't really want to talk about it. In an African home, anything that has to do with sex, anything that has to do with sexuality generally, people tend to avoid it a lot. Menstruation is a natural stuff. It's a way that the ovum of a girl child or a lady gets decayed and moves from the fallopian tube to the uterus and later comes out through the vagina. During the period where it is in the uterus, it's supposed to have fertilized if it combines with the spermatozoa, which is a male sex cell. But in a condition where it doesn't fertilize, it becomes decayed and comes out as decayed organic substance in form of dark blood, which is what we refer to as menstruation. This is something that most people don't like to talk about. In the African society, people tend to dread anything that has to do with sexuality generally, and they shy away from the truth that comes with it. Menstruation is something that is natural. It's quite natural. There's nothing unusual about menstruation. As a matter of fact, for any female who is of matured age, menstruation is supposed to be a normal cycle that happens, something that has to do with the cleansing of the body and the regeneration of new sex cells. I grew up in an environment where people tend to dread anything that has to do with sexuality, like I said earlier, and this has really created some type of problem that causes some miscommunication between the male children and the female children, where a boy sees menstruation as something that is unclean and something that can ward off good spirits from you whenever you come close to a girl who is in a menstrual cycle. There are all sorts of myths and superstitious belief that goes with menstruation. I was born into a Christian family, and all through my life we attended the Celestial Church. Sunday services are not meant for females who are in their menstrual cycle. As a matter of fact, they are mostly advised not to even come to church. Then the ones who come around the church environment are asked to stay outside because they believe that during their menstrual cycle they might cause some type of abomination to the sacred environment of the church. So there are all sorts of myths and superstitious belief that goes with menstruation. But I want everybody out there to know that menstruation is a normal thing. Every female child, every girl child who is matured enough and is sexually active is supposed to go through menstruation at every point in time around the circle of the month. I want to use this opportunity to call out to our mothers, our sisters, our female friends, our colleagues, to not be ashamed, not to be they shouldn't feel shy about coming out to talk about how they feel during menstruation, because the girl child goes through a lot of challenges when it comes to the issue of their menstrual cycles. I've had female friends who back in the school days usually have cramps, who usually have a bit of mood swing during their menstrual cycle. There are even some who suffer the type of ailment that we refer to as endometriosis, where during that period of their menstrual cycle they are usually unable to do anything. They become completely useless to themselves because they feel a lot of pain, a lot of emotion is always running, and for most times, for a period of that 4 or 5 days or a week that they used to go through that cycle, they are always indoors. They don't like to go out. Even the ones who love to put on beautiful dresses and do makeup among them, they are usually not in that mood to really look good and all that. But I think it is high time that we in Africa and Nigeria especially begin to look at menstruation as something that is quite a normal stuff, and we should be available for our mothers, our sisters, our female friends, our female colleagues, and every girl child that need us out there. We should be available for them during that period of their life. It is important that we also talk about it on social media. It is important that we talk about it in our churches, in our mosque, in our social gatherings. We begin to talk about how the female children are being, seen as a type of figure that causes a degradation to the sacred space during their menstrual cycle. It is important that we begin to talk about this issue so that everybody can be educated and rightly informed about what menstruation is all about and some of the challenges that the female children face during menstruation. We should come and talk about it. We should not shy away from the fact of how we need to come up and support those people who have any type of challenges during their menstrual cycle. And I think it's very, 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 very important. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook. Let's talk.